when we were home, especially like when we were alone, because our parents, I don't know if they know that we used to do this, but we would go outside the gate, in the driveway, and we'd set up, and then we'd start singing, "Our God is greater, our God is," and if people are just passing, we're like, "Who are these kids noise polluting here?" And we'd sit right there at the gate and we'd play and play and play.
So,
And what I remember was always being like, "Get that girl off the stage." But I feel like my social battery is also very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Especially with who I'm with. My I started to realize that secular music, okay, yeah, the drums are cool, the arrangement is cool, but what are they saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, God, what do you expect of me? What do you expect of me? Not only as a worshiper, but as a Christian. As I said, drums played a part in my faith. I was like, okay, let me put drums aside. Where is my faith? Where do I stand? Gianna and God, not the drummer and God. I'll be like, okay, God, you know, I can do it. Trust me. Why should I always trust you?
The drum was bigger than you.
The kick always felt like my enemy. I was just like, hey, where are you going? You know, and like during sound check, I was always,
I had a dancing group. I used to compose songs and teach them to the neighborhood kids, and they all and I had moves because we grew up watching this thing called Colby's Clubhouse. Okay. Where you wouldn't know about it. It's like a show in the 90s.
Our monitors that we used to hear everybody else as the band was not working for anybody. As in the Cat 5 had a problem. So basically, I couldn't hear anybody.
Hello. It's so good to have you here on HM Shima TV, and I'm glad you chose to click play, and I promise you it's going to be an exciting segment. We have an exciting guest, and I'm very excited to introduce this guest to you. My name is Maya&Gianna, and I'm the host today on our show where we're going to be interviewing none other than Gianna.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hi.
Yeah, so we're going to have a chance to get to know Gianna better today. So make sure that you stay tuned and you watch the whole show, because we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about secular music playing, her journey in music, playing drums, the dynamics of playing drums as a female, her journey in faith, and all those questions. So we trust us. You're going to have a good time. So anyway, without further ado, let me go ahead and ask you a couple of questions about yourself so that you can introduce yourself. So first thing, who is Gianna? Can you describe Gianna? Tell us about yourself for those who've never heard you, because you're usually in the back. Sometimes people don't get to see you a whole lot.
Got you. My name is Gianna. Gianna Mugo. I don't know how to describe you nowadays. Okay. Most people know me for playing drums at Christian Life Assembly. Yes, and some music videos from Heavenly Melodies. Yes, but yeah, I'm just a girl. I've come from a family that loves music. My older brother plays guitar. I play the drums and many other instruments together. And I think that's it.
Yeah. And honestly, for real, guys, I'm not even just saying it. She's one of my, if not my favorite drummer in Rwanda, for real. And it's really because of a number of things. It's because of your heart for service and also your talent. Your talent is just it's amazing. And there are a lot of talented drummers out there. I think for me, I'm also biased because you're a girl. So, yeah. But, so today we're going to get to know you a little bit more. But I want to start with some this or that questions. So you just have to choose one of the two. It will help us to get to know you a little bit more and know about what you like, what you don't like, and those type of things. All right. So first questions. You just choose one of the two. Okay. Staying in or going out?
Staying in. 100%.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea. T.
Android or iPhone?
Oh, iPhone. iPhone. Recently, though.
Recently,
Yeah.
you converted
Mhm.
to iPhoneism.
Yes.
Yeah, me, I haven't. I'm still faithful to Android forever. Silver or gold?
Silver. This thing is silver. Yes.
Silver.
Yes.
Okay. Reading or audiobook?
Audiobook. Sometimes the words just start like coming off the book and
Yeah,
I stop
absolutely.
reading. I'm just looking at words, but I'm not reading. So I
Yeah.
feel like audiobook, I can listen and kind of digest it
Yes.
better.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to choose.
Mm.
But yeah, audiobook, because you can do a whole lot of things
Yes.
as you're listening to audiobooks.
Yes.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Early riser or not early riser?
Not
Sleeping in.
early riser on a Sunday. But on a Sunday, definitely an
On Sunday, I
early
have no
riser.
choice.
Yes.
Introvert or extrovert?
Can I say both?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ambiverted. I think.
Ambivert.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to be alone,
Yes.
and other times you're like, I wanna
Most
be
of the times I want to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably introvert. Actually, this is the thing about introverts. People who are introverts, it's about how you recharge, not about whether you are social or not. Because you can be social, but your social battery is getting drained
Yes.
as you're hanging out with people, and then you just need time to recharge by being alone.
Yes.
So do you recharge by being alone or being with people?
Being alone 100%. But I feel like my social battery is also very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Especially with who I'm with.
Mm-hmm.
I can all of a sudden I just don't want to talk. And when people don't understand that, I really get so agitated that I just want to be alone. But when I'm with people who understand that, Gianna reaches a point where she just doesn't want to talk, just wants to consume everything around. Then I feel like I'm more comfortable to kind of like just hop back on as if nothing happened. So like that's why I say I'm kind of both. But yeah, my social battery is very. Even I myself, I get shocked sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, don't do this to me now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, it's very, I don't know. There is seasons in life sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm dealing with a lot. And then you have, like, introverted tendencies. I feel like as I'm extroverted, I know that. But there are times where I just have so much to deal with that I really, like, my social battery is, like, low, empty.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, and then do you like colorful things or neutral things, like neutrals?
Neutral, most definitely neutral.
This one I feel like is a no-brainer, but Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram. What is Facebook?
Face what?
What is Facebook?
Yes, I'm the Facebook generation. Yeah, and then ice cream or chocolate?
Ice cream, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. So at least people who want to get you a gift or they know a little bit about what you like.
Yes.
Yeah. So then, two things that people wouldn't guess about you.
Okay, the first one, I hope I don't get bashed for it, but I love watching wedding shows or like a show that shows how the bride picked out her dress. For example, Yes to the Dress. Oh my goodness. Just the whole journey and how she's like, no, this dress is not for me. I don't think so. But this one I love so much. Like,
I can't wait for your own journey.
Yeah, I really love those type of shows. I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
drama or the dress, but
It is the drama. So the mother-in-law versus
Yes.
the mother and the sisters and the stepsister there.
yeah,
You know, it's just
yeah.
interesting to see all those dynamics. And then if the mother and the daughter have a good relationship, so it comes out in those, yeah.
I really like those type of shows.
Second thing?
Second thing, I feel like people really don't don't know my age, or they always guess that I'm older than what I actually am.
Yeah.
But I'm a child, I'm a minor. I just keep it at that. I won't say my age, but I'm not an adult.
She's not yet 18, y'all.
Yes.
But can you imagine, like, at such a young age, the impact that you're already making? I'm so proud of that. Thank you for participating in that. Next, we want to hear about your faith journey. How did you come to know Christ? And when did you, because I know, like, some people grew up in the Christian faith, culture or tradition at home, but like, when did you make that, and how did you make that personal decision to follow Christ?
Yeah, so I've come from a Christian family. My parents were very much from the beginning, from the start. Do your devotions, read your Bible, learn how to pray, all that stuff. But I feel like I started really understanding what salvation is in 2018, 2019. That's when, like I said, understanding that this is not a journey that my parents walk me through, but a journey that I have to go through by myself and with God. Yeah, so around 2019 is when, like, I really, like, gave my life to Christ. I got baptized, actually, on my birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so special.
Yeah, my mom was there, my brother was there. It was amazing. Yeah, so after that, 2020 happened.
2020 happened.
Yes.
Really?
And
Yeah.
most of the time, like, when I look back, I just feel like 2019 happened. First, like, few weeks of 2020 happened, and then we just woke up, and 2024, like, went in October, actually.
Honestly, I also don't remember what I did in 2022. What happened in 2022? What happened in 2021? Was there even a 2021?
I don't think so.
Like we skipped.
I don't really.
We skipped
remember.
all those years.
Yeah, but through those years, I always had playing drums. Yes, was I would say played a part in how my relationship with God. But then, like, at such a young age, I really didn't know how they can coexist. Yeah, I wasn't understanding how my faith impacts my playing. Yeah, so that's something I started realizing recently. I'd say, like, even early this year is when I started, like, being like, okay, when I play drums, who am I playing for? As much as I'm always remembering, okay, this is what I practiced yesterday, this whole feel and everything. But now you're at that place where you're at the forefront and it's just you and God, So, back to 2020. Yeah, it was crazy. Lost my way, came back, lost my way, came back. It was a hot and cold thing. Yeah, really. I stayed with. I was living with my auntie and my brother at the time, and she wanted us to do, like, devotions, but I always felt like it was a chore. So I just be like, okay, and she'd tell me, like, read, and I'd read, but then after reading, I close the Bible, pack it. I'm not touching the Bible until the next day, 6 p.m. devotion again. Like, so it felt like what's it called? Schedule.
Yeah.
Like, I just know, okay, I need to read my Bible with everyone else in the sitting room. Never really took time to go to my room and kind of read the Bible for myself. Then I don't want to call them teenage problems because I'm still a teenager. But yes.
They are still teenage problems.
Yeah. I had that play as a part in coming back to Christ. Then also being like, one thing that I struggle with up to today, but I would say I really did. That's what really always made me, like, be like, okay, God, let me put a pause on you. Was doubt.
Yeah.
I really, I'd come back and be like, hey, I'm 100%. And then when God doesn't do what I expect of him, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can figure it out myself.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to realize that that's where I would go wrong. That's where I would lie to myself that I don't need God. I can do it all on my own. So still something I struggle with up to today, I can't lie. But at least I'm starting to understand and kind of let go of certain things that happened in my life and kind of just let God deal with it. And also, through that, getting some kind of healing with him. It's been a really beautiful journey, I can't lie. Covered a lot. I remember in 2022, during camp, that's when, like, I really went through it. Like, actually, there was so much that was happening in my life. And I went to camp and I was like, I really know, I wanted to be a facilitator, but I felt like I was too young to facilitate and really like help kids, because they would ask questions and I'm like, whoa, that's even
I also have that
me.
question.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, and there was a time, I can never forget that night. We're told to like just pray for yourself, or kind of just let the Holy Spirit come over you. So before that, I was like, okay, where's the Holy Spirit? Where's the Holy Spirit? Where's the Holy Spirit? But then that night, I was like, okay, you know what? Holy Spirit, I'm here. Jesus, I'm here. And that night, I would say I really felt the love of God that night. I really there were some things I had held on for so long, and I was gradually just starting to let go. And that's when I wrote my song Closer. Like, it was through that. Yeah. I was like, okay, I've let go of this, but don't leave me. Don't leave me. I don't want to feel alone. So yeah, first lyrics, it started as me like praying, I'm not the old me. In you have renewed me, So it's more of like I was letting go of all those burdens, who I was, and I'm like, Jesus, renew me and make me true. You know me best, so I'm giving my life to you. So as much as I gave my life to Christ in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, now I'm back and I'm like, God, I resurrender my life. And one thing that's so beautiful about repentance and resurrendering that I love so much is that no matter how much you're fallen, there's the love of God that's so...
It's greater than...
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Recently, I was able to start a schedule, reading my Bible, praying. And one thing I was always afraid of is, okay, I have renewed my life, with Jesus. I've given my life back to him. I've repented. But then now to keep that up, to keep that fire up, say yesterday I did it and had such an amazing time in the presence of God, but then today I'm not feeling it, right? So that is what all the time I would pray about, and I'd be like, okay, God, please don't leave me, please don't, if I feel like you've gone, or if you're quiet, I'm afraid of how much I'll fall. So I don't know if it's making sense.
Yeah.
But that's a fear that I have. Even like when I'm praying, I'm like, okay, God, I'm sorry, giving my life back to you, resurrendering. I resurrender like every... I don't know, like if I say every day, like when I'm starting my prayer, I first repent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
like, I give my life back to you, and all because it's more of a fear, which I'm really trying to overcome, because I've been told over and over, and even the Word of God, that with him I shouldn't fear.
There's no fear.
There's no fear, and like my flesh, I shouldn't be afraid of being led by the flesh, because I'm letting the Holy Spirit lead me, lead my heart, lead my mind. Why am I still putting the flesh into equation?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I feel like I've gone so far. But back to camp 2022. I wrote my song Closer. I wrote it in 2 days. Actually, in 1 day. That night happened. I had those 2 lines. I went to Kingsley Diakite, and I was like, listen, I have this song, and I think we need to finish it. I something was just telling me, Gianna, this song is what's on your heart now, and you need to finish it and put it out there. So that's what I did. And then, so there after camp, fire. I'm ready. You know, put on the full armor of God, fight. Well, I'm telling you. Through that, I forgot where my heart actually was. You know, I've come out of renewing, you know, feel like a new person. But even out of that came new challenges.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I put God on pause again. Because I was like, you know what, yeah. So 2022, as much as, yeah, I'm serving at church, but, you know, I'm playing drums, I'm listening to Christian music, but yeah, God, like I remember so many times I'll be playing and the worship leader is like, you know, glorifying God and, you know, telling the audience, you know, just talk to him, talk to your daddy, you know. And I'll be like, God, you know where we are, right?
And it's so interesting because like you're sharing your journey. And I think people don't always realize that people who are in ministry struggle. They're just people. It's not like you come to church every day because you're on stage and you're holding the mic or because you're playing an instrument that your relationship with God is perfect.
Yes.
Right? But I think some of it is just, that's what faithfulness looks like, is even on your days where you feel like, I'm finding it hard to pray, as long as you're not walking in sin and living a sinful life, but like you're showing up and being like, God, here's what I have. If you can use it, then here it is, you know, and just, and God keeps showing up and using us and revealing himself to us. I love that. Yeah.
So I just feel like, God, yeah,
Here we are.
what can I say? And like I'll kind of give God like a little update and be like, yeah, so last week I did this and this week I'm working on this and yeah. And you know, it was shallow. I never took it deep. I never, you know, kind of like rooted myself in the word. Through like in my prayer time, I never really.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd actually like stopped praying. I would say like by myself, yeah, you know, because I can say I wasn't really seeing God as a friend or a father. I was seeing him as someone who would just leave me and then condemn me for how I felt.
Yeah.
You know, and I went through a time where I was just angry with God. You know, and it showed. It showed. Like even in my ministry in church, I don't know if people noticed. I hope they didn't, but there would be times where like people would come for deliverance or praying, you know, they're called in front
to the altar.
Yeah, and I'll be like, good, okay, see all these people, like how much they're trusting you. I trusted you like them, and I feel like you failed me, and like I would wrestle with God, and I'd be like, you know what, I can't do this thing. It felt like a love-hate thing. I love you today, I hate you tomorrow, just because he didn't do what I expected him to do, you know. And earlier this year is when I really started like being like, okay, God, what do you expect of me? What do you expect of me? Not only as a worshiper, but as a Christian. Because then, as I said, drums played a part in my faith. I was like, okay, let me put drums aside. Where is my faith? Where do I stand? Gianna and God, not the drummer and God. And I was astonished. I was scared to see actually where I had reached. I reached a point where I wasn't letting God lead me, you know. I'd be like, okay, God, you know, I can do it. Trust me. Why should I always trust you? You know? And I would ask myself, okay, Gianna, remember all those times when things didn't work out, you know, and God was just there, and He was like, just let me. I'd be like, no, I got it under control, you know, and yeah, it's
wow,
it's a struggle, but with God, the struggle feels easier. It actually is easier with God, because the struggle will always be there. You know, temptation will come, challenges will come, but with God, I feel like going to Him and being like, okay, this is my struggle today.
This is where I am right now.
Yeah, and what do you want me to do? Not what should Gianna do? More like, what does God want Gianna to do?
And I really love your story, and thank you for sharing so openly and authentically, because I think like a lot of people would just be like, you know, I want to sound so deep spiritual and, you know, everything, you know, me and God, whatnot. But like, you know, that's just the journey that we are on. It's a journey, and some days we're just like really weak. Other days we're, you know, we're feeling, you know, somewhat God is giving us grace through it all. And I just want to encourage every person from your testimony who is serving in ministry. If you're a young person, you're still figuring out your faith, you're still figuring out where your own walk with God is, like, bring that to God. God is not intimidated by your questions. God is not intimidated by, like, you. Some of us walk with questions about God that we don't dare utter. We don't dare open our mouth and say, but if there's a God, you know, and those things keep us from surrendering to God, because we really, truly don't believe that He's a good God. And we've held back. We've held back because of things that happened to us, things that we've seen, things that we've witnessed. And those things keep on, you know, we have this kind of like distant relationship with God, you know, but we don't have to. We can come closer and bring those questions. He is not afraid. He is not afraid of, you know, our questions. There's nothing that could possibly intimidate Him. So just come to Him, be authentic, and seek Him. And truly, like, I love also what you said about, like, it's not about you playing drums. It's about your heart before God. And you can be a great drummer, but, you know, there's that verse in that Jesus, in Mark chapter 7, where Jesus says, you know, these people worship me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. And God knows. God knows when we're just faking it. You know, we don't have to fake it till we make it when it comes to God. We can be our authentic selves, and God cares. And there's a thing, I don't know if you've ever heard, like, I think us who are in ministry and musicians and whatever, you hear this thing of saying, God use me, right? And one day I thought about it, and I realized, wait a minute, God doesn't want to use me. That's such a bad word. You know how, like, when you say, like, someone is using you, you feel like you're not important. It's what they're getting out of you that's important. And I remember one time just like having this realization, no, God, like, work in me as you work through me. Like, I don't want you to just use me for others. I don't want to be like this thing where you just, like, this cup, like, oh, this cup is very important, but it's like really not about the cup. It's about what inside, what's inside. No, I think we need to stop thinking of ourselves as we're just there to serve others, and God doesn't want to meet us. God doesn't care about us. He cares about us, actually more than even what we can do for Him. And that's what we see from the story of Mary and Martha, where Martha, you know, she was caring about what she could do for Jesus. But Mary, she chose to sit at the feet of Jesus, and Jesus said she made the better choice, because Jesus cares about your fellowship with Him more than your service for Him. He cares about your relationship with Him more than your service for Him. And so you could serve Him all your life, but if your heart is far from Him, at the end of the day, you know, it's like, what's the point, right? I really love that. So you're a drummer. Are there any other female drummers in this region?
Yes, I know they are, but in church, I haven't seen many. I
know in Kenya probably there could be, but in Rwanda definitely. You're probably the only one, unless there are some other young ones. So
if they are, come on, holla. Let's do a. You know,
I love it. And tell us about your musical journey in short. Like, how did you start? Why drums? Like, of all instruments, that was so random. How did you start? And actually, before she talks about her musical journey, I want to take a short break, and you watch this video of her playing
100%.
playing as a teeny tiny little girl. It's the best thing. So let's take a break and watch that video. We are back. How old were you in that video?
That was 2016, I think June.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
9.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. She was a teeny tiny. And that was like, was it? What was that event you were playing in?
So it was the children's Sunday.
Yeah.
So the teens were leading service and the children were dancing,
I love it. It was like, I could see how you were. The drum was bigger than you.
The kick always felt like my enemy. I was just like, hey, where are you going? And like during sound check, I was always like, Gianna, kick, and I'm like, I'm kicking, but I'm not. And I don't, like you can see my whole body going like, because I'm really trying to.
That is the cutest thing I've seen in a long time. So how did you start playing drums? What was that journey like?
Yeah, okay. So as I said, I've come from a musical family.
Mm-hmm.
My brother loves the guitar. I mean, this guy, 2 years old.
Shout out to Yanis. Yes, Yanis was somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From forever, my brother's been playing guitar.
Yeah.
Honestly. So it started off as Giannis is playing guitar, and I was like, okay, guitar is kind of cool. So I got a guitar myself, but I never used to play the guitar. I just liked the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I'd even before school, I'd tuck it in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, okay, guitar, I'm gone, And then I went on, and at church, I remember seeing Pastor Mark Guamaka playing the drums. And I said, that's fine. The drums, right there. That is the instrument I want to play.
Yeah.
And I remember going after church, I'd go up CLA still. I'd go up and I'd try and I'm playing with my hands, kind of, and I'd hurt them because cymbals and all that. And I remember one Sunday, Pastor Mark actually taught me a groove. I was like, okay, I'm gonna teach you something. I don't know if you remember this, but yeah, I remember it was long ago because there was a picture he took of me and my friend.
Yeah.
I didn't have my 2 front teeth.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it was like you were 5 or 6.
Yes.
Yo.
And yeah, so he taught me a groove.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my days. I went home, I started flipping buckets. And I said, this is my drum set. And we had a big guava tree.
Yeah.
I'd go and I'll pluck the branches. And I'll say, okay, this is my snare, this is my tom. And and then my brother playing guitar, he would be like, hey, what's that? He would start playing also. So we'd start off by when we were home, especially when we were alone, because our parents, I don't know if they know that we used to do this, but we'd go outside the gate, in the driveway, and we'd set up, and then we'd start singing, our God is greater, our God is... And if people are just passing, be like, who are these kids noise polluting here?
That is so funny.
And we would do it religiously. We just wait for our parents. They have come for lunch. When they have gone, even as we are going out the gate with them, and we'd sit right there at the gate and we'd play and play and play and sing. So yeah, now it around, I'd say, church 2016. Started playing at Trinity. Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. That
at 9 years old.
Yeah, actually even earlier. I think I started when I was
Oh wait, what was people's reaction when they saw you playing drums as a teeny tiny girl?
What I remember, was always being like, get that girl off the stage.
What is she doing? That's not a girl's thing.
Because what I used to play, listen, I don't blame them now, but then I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Why can't I be able to? I can play, and they're like, Gianna, you're gonna play next Sunday.
Yes.
And that actually, it really gave me the
motivation.
Honestly, that's when I'll be like, okay, you know what? This is my goal. I'm going to reach a time when I can play in service. And not at I'm coming to play one song and I go. No, I'm
the
playing
whole set.
the whole
Come on.
set.
Yes.
So then
I love it.
My mom actually played a big role because Saturday would be at church from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Wow.
And I'm 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We'd stay there playing, practicing, same songs 2 songs, I'm telling you. Over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
So it would be the main drama is playing the song. Then when like he has gone to drink water, I'm trying. And then he would come back and he's like, okay, you did well, but just sit.
Stay away from the drums.
Yeah. You can watch, but don't touch. So
all those people who are at church always kicking the kids off the stage, which
yeah,
I'm also guilty of that. I mean, you never know, but I mean, let's try to encourage them because I think it's just so...
And those kids
it's so hard. Like a drum set, where are you going to get it, really?
Honestly,
you can't practice anywhere else. Yeah.
And they're very expensive.
Yeah.
So...
Do you have a drum set?
I don't
think it's like... do people like... well, maybe people do on drum sets. Personal drum sets?
Yes. You're encouraged to have your instrument at home. But unfortunately, I don't.
But, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. It's a big
and then
set.
the space, the noise.
Yes,
everything,
the noise,
everything puts into consideration.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those kids who keep on going on stage, listen, keep going. Look where I am on stage.
But there are some who are just there to just disturb
yes.
things, but that wasn't you.
No.
Genuinely wanting
I would
to
listen.
learn. Yeah.
I would listen.
And you'd be like waiting for that opportunity.
Mind you, this is practice. This is not Sunday. This is practice. During practice, when I'll go on the drum set and be like, I can play this song. You know? Yeah.
I love it.
So that was literally the schedule.
Yeah.
Saturdays, I knew I was in church. Then comes to now those Sundays that you've just seen in the clip of me now actually playing a whole set.
Yes.
Yeah.
At 9 years. I'm just stuck there at 9 years. What was I even doing at 9 years? Oh, I had a dancing group. Oh, I used to compose songs and teach them to the neighborhood kids, and they all and I had moves because we grew up watching this thing called Colby's Clubhouse.
Okay.
Where you wouldn't know about it. It's like a show in the 90s. If you grew up watching TBN in the 90s and early 2000s, you know what I'm talking about. So I had my own version of that where I'd write songs and have like these moves. So yeah, I was still serving the Lord at 9 years old. Yeah. So then you start playing in church at that point.
So it's more of like playing when it's Kids Sunday.
Right.
That's when I'll be like, okay, I'm locking in.
Yeah.
The other Sundays, I'd play a bucket actually. I'd play a bucket.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then how did you like now get into like the big people worship team? Because you were at Trinity and then you came to CLA when we were there. Yes. I don't actually remember how like that whole process went. I just remember you singing, you playing, I mean.
It was so fast.
Yeah.
Even me looking back, I'm like, whoa, you know, I don't really... I can't say like the months, the certain months I waited and just boom. But
it was also after COVID.
Yes.
We didn't have musicians. A lot of musicians. We didn't have a lot of musicians.
Yes.
And you and Yanis, your brother, were at like always at church.
Yes.
And then Fabrice had to like almost like reconstruct the entire worship team, and he was like, okay, True North people, teens, let's come, and let's have to go together. Yeah.
So now I did there was a music course at Prayer House. 2019. I did that for 6 months, graduated. Shout out to Olivier Kabutse. Honestly, that was an amazing journey. And through that, also Shadrach. Oh my goodness, Shadrach. Let me tell you, every time I see Shadrach play, I'm like, I want to be like Shadrach. I want to be. Honestly,
those who don't know Shadrach, he's talking about the goat. Goat.
Yes.
We call him goat. Yeah.
So that was like end of 2019, December actually. I graduated.
Yeah.
Then 2020, now after lockdown, when things were kind of opening up, I don't know how Yanni started playing for CLA. I just saw him that he had started playing for CLA. And I was like, whoa, let me tag along, And I'd come, even when I'm not playing, I'll just go chill around. Then that's how I started. I started playing at True North first.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, my first Sunday I played at True North, I played with dead drums.
What? Dead drums, that's even a thing.
The drums weren't sounding. So you hear pack, but the drums weren't sounding. Yes. And then Okay, so I started serving actually at True North.
Mm-hmm.
We'd record the YouTube services.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I actually started playing. And then now there was one time, Yanis was like, "Why don't you come on Tuesdays? There's a service that happens on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Why don't you come and see?
Yeah.
You know, if it's you want to play, you look like you want to play. Might as well put yourself out there." So I started coming Tuesdays. I would sound check, then go sit. Sound check, then go sit. Because I think George had work or school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the drama at the time, George. Oh my goodness.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there was one time I sound checked. Then George came and he was like, "Who are you?" I'm Gianna. And I was shaking. I was like, "I'm Gianna," because you know, he sounded so, you know,
Stern.
yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna I play drums at True North, and I was just wondering if I can just play for you today." And he was like, "Okay." Then he left, and I was like, "Oh wait, I'm actually playing." And then I went to my brother, "I'm actually playing today. I think I'm actually playing today." And I was like, "That's good. That's good. Yo, we're gonna have so much fun. Yeah." And like that was the kickoff of it.
Yeah.
So Tuesdays I'd come, and I'd tell George, "Hey, can I play today?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." Actually, then he reached a point where it was just like, Gianna plays on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was one Tuesday we didn't get the set list, and then Yanis came and told me Maya is singing today. I said, Maya? Maya. And he's like, "Yes, Maya is singing today." And you know, Maya gives us a set list when we're on stage. I said, "Really?" Yeah.
Also, I'll give you the set list and I might not sing the songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Yanis was like, "So just come, be ready. You know, everything you know, today is the day." I said, "Alright, cool."
Yeah.
Came that Tuesday, played. You know, every time I just look at Maya, I'm trying to read you. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to do anything wrong. And then that was I would say now the turning point when I started playing on Sundays. Because I think you went on like the group. You're like, "Who's the girl who played today?"
Yes,
Yeah.
I loved it. I just remember, I don't think I was ever like, what is she doing? You know, I feel like there are those musicians who just like,
Lucky.
yeah, that's what I was going for, you know, and
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So then through that, I started like, Fabrice came to me and was like, "You want to play on Sunday?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I think there was no drama. Then he was like, "You know what?"
there was a season where like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah.
So it was good, and it's so amazing how God is preparing people for every season. Like
Yes.
every time you think like we don't know, you know, there's someone that God has been prepared. There's a David somewhere who has been taking care of sheep, but God has been preparing them for that position. So I love that you came at that very point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my first Sunday playing Ashile was actually the most dramatic Sunday I think that has ever happened.
What happened?
to
Who was
any
leading?
drama. Prince.
Uh-huh.
So we come in the morning. The cable, the Cat 5 now goes into the Me one.
Yeah.
So our monitors that we used to hear everybody else as the band was not working for anybody. As in the Cat 5 had a problem. So basically I couldn't hear
like
anybody. And then
that's fun.
I have been put in a cube.
Oh no, that was the time we also had the
Yes,
that was so hard.
Cube. I can't hear. Actually, when I start playing the drums, I literally can't hear anything.
Oh no.
So I'm forgetting his name, but the bassist,
he was the one giving you like that.
Issa Pro.
Issa,
Yes, Issa was playing bass.
He was playing bass that day.
Yes, and he was tapping like this, his leg, and that's how I was able to follow Prince.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had to look at his leg the whole time. So I'm playing, I'm looking at his leg. Then
Yo.
I'm looking at Prince. Then he'll do this breakdown, up, breakdown.
Yo, he saw that you couldn't hear anything because like he also couldn't hear a thing.
Everybody knew that our monitors weren't working.
Yo.
Yeah. So after that, we said, you know what, the cube is not working. So they removed me from the cube. Second service now. and I was able to play in the open.
Oh.
Like yeah. It was such a crazy Sunday. But I'm saying, looking back,
Man, the things that happen on that stage.
yeah.
People are there, they don't know what we are going through. Like, we don't know what's happening. But
Yeah.
God is always faithful, He moves.
Amen.
So, like, what, as a young person who's navigating your faith, your journey with God, but you're also kind of like already using your gift, serving God. And you know what, by the way, I started serving God very young. When I committed my life to Christ around 16, 17, I was part of part of a small church that had just been, a small growing church. So I immediately just went like deep into ministry at a very young age. And I was like, okay, I don't know, let's figure this out as we go. What are some of like the common mistakes that young people in ministry make, like that you feel like sometimes even can lead you far from God? Even especially like specifically talk about music, musicians, some of the deadly sins of musicians, let's say that. What are some of the ones that you've seen in your own life that you've been struggling with?
Okay. Deadly sins. I don't want to speak for all musicians. All our journeys are different. But I would say for me, as a young person serving at church in ministry, there was a time where I was kind of selfish with my position. And it's something I did unknowingly, but actually George is the one who helped me. Be like, Gianna, you're not easy to kind of
work with.
Yeah, more of like, if this is a Sunday when Gianna is playing, put a period there. There's nothing changing. Gianna is playing. I wasn't flexible. I was so rigid.
Yeah.
And when anything small would change, I'd be so angry.
Yeah.
First at myself. Yes, first at myself.
Paul, I must have made you very mad then, because I feel like I also don't know how everything's going to turn out till the actual service.
Yeah, I'd be mad at myself.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it was just that thing of me, this is
wanting to
mine.
control.
This is mine. Then, also when a leader would sing a song that I know, I'm like, this is it. Then when it's like, when you'd go into like your 90s songs, I'll just be there like, yeah, so... Yeah.
So the kind of that we once talked about this with some other singers and musicians, like, you know how you can have like your personal preferences in music, and you just have this negative attitude towards songs that don't fit into that genre, right? Like you're like, you know, I don't like this song because it's old or whatever, and it's really not about anything. It's just your personal preference.
Yeah. So I did a lot of that. More of like. I wouldn't give 100% or just be negative about it. So there would be Sundays when I'd go home and I'm like, yeah, I did okay. You know? Yeah. I'm not even thinking about, okay.
Ooh. And if you don't like the set, like the worship leader has chosen, how would like that affect your service?
I actually, I'd be in so much turmoil with myself that I don't know. First of all, I'll start resenting myself. Then I end up resenting that specific worship leader and be like, I don't want to play with you again.
Yeah.
You know, and like, it's something I really, I would say I struggled with for a while in ministry.
Yeah.
And just not giving your best,
all
yet that is what is required of you.
Yeah.
That I think is something I would say musicians do or you don't, but I do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
I used
even
to.
just like favoritism, I like playing with so and so more than I like playing with so and so. Like if it's like a fellow band member or it's like a worship leader.
Yes.
You know, that kind of instead of just having a heart that is like, you know, I'm here to serve regardless of what that looks like.
Yes. Actually, when I came back from vacation, I had this thing in my heart where I just wanted to apologize to the team that I work with at CLA.
Yeah.
Because I knew this is... I keep on saying, no, I don't do that. but I actually do. In me saying no, I don't do that, it's me doing it also.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you kind of think about it, I'll be like, yeah, maybe today David wasn't playing keys, so the MD today was just,
Yeah.
and it's I've seen it in many musicians.
Yeah.
It happened to me also.
Yeah.
Like even as I was starting out, like, can I explain? And it would hurt me. But now, like when I realized that I'm also doing it to other people, I was like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
those are things that kind of hurt people in a team. Like, if people are sort of, maybe certain worship leaders are still growing and they're learning that, it kind of affects their self-esteem, their confidence on stage when you show that you're like, you don't know what you're doing.
I'm not really giving 100%.
Yes, you're not giving 100%, or like, you can see when people are just dragging their feet.
Yes.
They don't really want to be there.
Yes.
So musicians, band members, worship leaders, we really need to care for each other on stage and be really, like, have a heart to serve regardless, and like not have this attitude where it's like, oh yeah, today I'm giving my best because serve as unto the Lord all the time, every time.
Amen.
Regardless. And also, listen, if you don't like the set, that's okay, because it's not about you, and the worship set is not for you. It is for God. He is the audience. So if you don't like the songs, well, that's okay. That's fine. We can deal with that. But yeah, I think, talk a little bit about secular music, TikTok. How is that, like, how do you deal with those pressures?
When it comes to secular music, I'm guilty as charged.
I like the realness here, the authenticity, no judgment.
I don't know. There are these seasons where I'd be like, no secular music. Like, kind of like when I'm fasting, I'm like, no secular music. But when I open TikTok, secular music finds me. And
you didn't look for it; it came
exactly
looking for you.
Then I tell myself, okay, so Gianna, if you don't listen to secular music, then stop going on TikTok or stop going on social media. And I'm like, at my young age, how am I gonna not be on social media? How am I not gonna, And I'll be like, I don't think I can do this. Then I'll be like, you know what? I listen to secular music, and that's it. But I started to realize that secular music, okay, yeah, the drums are cool, the arrangement is cool, but what are they saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can't just say it's just about the music.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to arrangement. The arrangement, it's not just about the music.
Yeah. So, I've listened to everybody that's there in the secular world. I've listened all in the name of, I just like their drummer. Yeah. I just like their pianist.
I like their arrangement.
Band. Oh, they're this. And or I just had a rough day, or my heart is broken. Just need to listen to some.
Those heartbreak songs.
Yes, guilty as charged.
My friend, me, I'm from the Westlife generation, so I wonder why. Do you even know that song?
No.
I was telling you that the temptations we had was not like Megan Thee Stallion. We had temptations of Britney Spears and Brandy. If you know what I'm talking about, you should sign up for retirement, bro, because this is ancient. But yeah, so like it's so hard, like, because the music is everywhere. So then how do you guard your heart, like, to make sure that it doesn't impact you spiritually?
Yeah, most definitely. It's more of like realizing what are your idols.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, the secular music would find me on TikTok. Then maybe TikTok is the idol that's always leading me back to listening to secular music.
Yeah.
So kind of put a pause on that, kind of like, what is TikTok doing to you? You're just scrolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then and then what? And then
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Joining the challenge.
Yeah. Like I don't know. People kind of say, no, it's because I'm on this side of TikTok, because I'm on this side. Let me tell you, any side,
Find you.
But back to the point, idols, that lead you back to secular music. Like for me, I still struggle with it now, but at least I'm trying to identify those things that, okay, this led me back to, I'm listening to, as you said, Megan Thee Stallion's new song. I'm like, okay, I'm listening to it actually because the beat is catchy, but what she's talking about, thinking about all that. So secular music, I don't know. It's really tough.
It's tough. I know, and
it's a tough conversation too.
And if you're a musician, it's even tougher because it's
yes.
like, music is music, and sometimes you hear something and you're like, oh wow, this is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I personally don't like listen to secular music at all, unless it's like, there's I don't even know, like there's music that is neutral, like that is just like there, But yeah, secular music itself, that it's kind of. It's a very big challenge for a lot of musicians, especially.
Yes.
And it's very hard when you don't have those things like really clear. That's when you start to blur the lines, even playing.
Yeah.
Because then you allow yourself to play this music. Then tomorrow they're gonna be somewhere, they'll give you a gig, and you'll be like, well, it's just it's work, right? That's it. It's work. I'm doing it. The way I have a secular job, you also go do that secular job, but then it's different with music because it is you are using. I mean, I don't know, guys. That's something that you need to pray and let God convict you about.
Yes.
But definitely, we do agree that there's an impact spiritually when you feed on secular music. Yes.
And just to put that out there, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, that listening to secular music, like some days I still find myself going back and listening to my old playlist and be like, man, these are the days. or being like, this song is really this song is really speaking to me. Like the times when I realize that actually a certain song, secular song, is having an impact on me, as much as I say I only like the beat, is when I go back to it, repeat. And that's when I'm like, okay, But when I find myself there, because I don't want to say young people, but yes, young people, you go through something, if you know that thing, a relationship, or something else.
Yeah.
You find yourself going back and I just want to listen to Heartbreak Anniversary. Listen, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. But for me, I can just say, just give it to God. Just give it to God. Because when you spend time with God, and I've seen it in my life recently, actually, is that I'm like, okay, this song is okay, but I'm not going to go back and listen to it again. Yeah. I went through a heartbreak. I'm going to pray about it. I'm not going to listen to Heartbreak Anniversary because I'm not trying to have an anniversary about my heartbreak.
So I don't even know that song, by the way. It sounds very,
Yeah, so it's just giving it to God. Something that I'm still trying to teach myself, even as a musician. These problems that we have, thinking that we can just fight it with our flesh, but we actually can't. Something that God actually needs to help us get out of.
Yeah.
And listen, I love God for what He's doing in my life. I'm not where I want to be, but at least
you're on the path.
Yes. I'm with God. God.
Yeah. And He who started the good work in you will surely bring it to completion. Fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. He's the finisher of our faith. He's the author of our faith. So, we're now coming to the close of our segment. It has been so good talking to you. And I feel like you're so easy to talk to because you just like let it flow from your heart. But what message would you have for other teenagers and young people who are, I don't know, in ministry or thinking about ministry or wanting to serve God? And what message would you like to share with them?
Oh my days.
This is your moment. Deliver that sermon.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I want to share with you guys is, don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about your relationship with God. As I've been saying all throughout this interview, it's something I've recently, when I say recently, I mean 2024, recently realized that my relationship with God is what determines like my walk in life, with my ministry, whatever I'm doing at church, honestly, God is the cornerstone first.
Yeah.
You know, my relationship with God, where I have put God, it will determine how I perform, not physically, spiritually, and with my heart. And yeah, young people who are in ministry or want to join ministry, one thing I'd like to tell you guys to look out for is burnout. Look out for burnout.
It's real. Yeah.
Remember that you're still human. And you're allowed to go through those ups and downs. Even when you're down, you're allowed to have those downs. And when you're up, don't forget
Take
God.
care of yourself.
Yes, don't forget God.
Yeah.
Something I'm guilty of also.
You think you're just because you're young, you can just keep going and stop.
Yes. But one thing I struggled with is everybody saying the female drama from CLA, you know, it gets to your head. But when you're serving God, remember you're the little one. You're the baby. You're the child. And you're not the one to say and do. You're the one to say, yes, I'm here. And obey. I don't mean to get emotional, but yes, something that's what I can say. Listen, Yesu ni sawa.
Yesu ni sawa. Please.
Yes.
I hope you guys have been so encouraged. I feel like I've been so encouraged. I've been really ministered to by your authenticity and your journey with God. And I believe God has so much more. It's just the beginning. Oh my goodness. I'm just imagining, like, you know, when you be one of those people who, like, you're 40 something and you're like, I've been serving God for 30 years. You're like, Che, what? You know, but you know, because you started serving God so young, and I'm excited. And David said, I was young and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor their children begging for bread. Really, serving God is the most profitable business you can do with your time and your life. Not only does it keep you from irrelevant things like scrolling on TikTok nonstop, it builds you in a way that you can't really imagine. It's challenging also because you're navigating your own faith and walk with God as you're also trying to minister and serve God. So, but nonetheless, serve God while we're still young, while the day is still there, because we don't know how long we have on this earth.
Yeah.
So, that was it for me, Maya and Gianna.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, and share this podcast to anyone who needs to hear this message. Any young person out there, your children, your friends, share it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so, because we have a lot of great content and great guests, all ages, backgrounds, testimonies. We are here to just lift up the name of our God. So thank you once again. God bless you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.